guardian angel here in Korea, and I'm sure to help you with everything you need to know about Korea. Well, when you first saw my thumbnail, you might have thought, okay, what is she talking about? She's now saying that we can go to Jeju Island on a day trip. Okay, she's kind of different. Well, you could think so. And actually, you are not the only one who thinks that it's almost impossible to go to Jeju on a day trip. My friends at first thought that it's not possible, but now after they have gone to Jeju on a day trip with me and they go there on their own. Yes, it's actually very possible because Jeju is not that far away from Seoul if you fly. I mean, you should fly because it's an island. Yes, it's the southernmost island of Korea, and you can fly to Jeju in just 1 hour from Seoul. Yes, so it's very possible if you go there in the morning and come back to Seoul at night. Or you can fly from Busan to Jeju. So yes, simply put, day trip to Jeju is possible while you're in Korea. I have done it like 10 times. Yes, day trip to Jeju. So if you want to go to Jeju, but you don't seem to have enough time, do not give up yet. Okay? I'm going to talk about things for you to know to make your day trip to Jeju possible. So follow me. I'm going to give you 4 tips for you to know to make your Jeju day trip possible and enjoyable.
Ready, go!
Number 1, how to get to Jeju. Well, to go to Jeju, you do not go to Incheon International Airport. The airport you are going to enter through when you come to Korea. You are instead going to Gimpo Airport, which is not in Incheon. Incheon is not Seoul, it's a different city. But Gimpo is in Seoul. Yes. So, yes, it's very easy to go there. And, you don't waste a lot of time traveling to the airport. Yes, from Gimpo Airport, there are dozens of flights in the morning. And when you come back to Seoul, there are also dozens of flights in the evening and at night. Yes, there are plenty of flights going to Jeju daily. And then you can make a reservation for morning flight and evening or night flight so that you can do a day trip to Jeju. Yes, it's simple. It's a domestic flight. You don't have to go through passport control. You just have a ticket and then go through some security and then you are off to go. So it doesn't take a lot of time before flying. Of course, it's a day trip. You do not have luggage with you, right? So you just go there like half an hour before your departure or like 35 minutes before departure. And then you just are right in front of the gate in very short time. And then you fly to Jeju. And as I said, there are lots of flights. So you can pick very cheap tickets among available tickets. Right, there are so many tickets, and on a weekday, yes, I recommend you go there on a weekday because Friday, Saturday, Sunday can be expensive, and also public holidays. It's a different story. So just weekdays to be safe. The flights to Jeju are not that expensive. One way I find tickets $20 or $30 or $40, and when I come back to Seoul at night, it could be as cheap as $20 or around 30. So it depends on the day, and we have lots of low-cost airlines that operate daily flights from Gimpo Airport in Seoul to Jeju. That's why a lot of Koreans are these days taking day trips to Jeju because a lot of low-cost airlines offer very good prices and a lot of options for them. The first flight of the day is 6 a.m. So many flights going there. And then when you go to Jeju, have a whole day. And when you come back to Seoul, make a reservation around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. The last flight of the day is 9:30, and I do not make a reservation for 9:30 p.m. flight because what if I miss the flight? It's not a day trip anymore. I should be there for one night. So you get the sense, right? You go there in the morning and you come back to Seoul. And as I said, you get cheap tickets in the morning and of course at night too. And of course, you know that tickets do not have to be the ones of same airlines, right? We have lots of carriers and you pick just cheaper one, and there you pick cheap one, and then you combine those. The low-cost airlines are Jin Air, T-Way, Air Busan, Air Seoul, and so on. We have many. So you pick them, and then the price can be not that expensive. So where can you book your tickets? Koreans use naver.com. This is like the Google version of Korea, but it's not easy for foreign tourists to make a flight booking there. So I recommend you using trip.com. It's an international platform and they sell a lot of good Korean domestic flight tickets. So I'll leave the link in the YouTube description so that you can go there and find out how much it is to go to Jeju. By the way, this is important. You do not have to rush to make bookings. As I said, there are plenty of tickets and plenty of seats daily. Yes, especially on weekdays. So you do not have to rush. I mean, if you plan ahead, like in your country before coming to Korea, there could be a problem. What the problem can be? Let's move to the next chapter and I'll talk about it more in the next chapter. Number 2, when to go. Do you remember I just said you shouldn't rush to make a reservation to go to Jeju? Why did I say that? I mean, not just because there are plenty of tickets, so you don't have to rush, but because you have to think about the weather. Yes, weather is very important. Jeju is an island, so the weather can be unpredictable. Sometimes the forecast says it's going to be sunny, and 2 days later, it just says it's going to be cloudy and rainy. It changes all the time. Well, that can happen to Jeju, and I do check the weather forecast a lot before I pick a day to go to Jeju on a day trip. You have just one day. You are not staying there for a long time, so the weather is more important because you don't want to ruin your trip. It's a day trip, and if it's sunny, of course, your trip can be much better. So I want you to be flexible about your schedule. When you come to Korea, while you're in Korea, just check the weather forecast quite often. And then if you see, well, it's going to be sunny on a certain day, you pick that day to go to Jeju. So I hope you are kind of flexible about your schedule and then make a reservation just a few days before you go to Jeju. When it's sunny, it's so beautiful because the main reason to go to Jeju is to see the sea or see the beaches. We call Jeju the Hawaii of Korea. Yes, that's how we call it. They have lots of beautiful beaches and the sea is beautiful. It's better if you go there on a sunny day. So think about the weather. And what about the season? I prefer spring and autumn the most, and summer is okay if it's not between the end of July and the middle of August, because Jeju can be hotter and more humid. It's an island, so it can be very humid. So if you go there in the hot summer, yes, the weather can be sometimes hard to bear. So I recommend you going there in the spring, early summer, autumn, and actually winter is not bad because winter can be milder compared to other parts of the country. But the problem is the sun goes down very early, like around 5 p.m. And after the sunset, the island is extremely dark. So you may find it kind of, terrifying. I mean, Jeju is safe, don't worry. But anyway, there is nothing to do when it gets so dark, right? So if you go there in the winter, you feel like your day is shorter. So, I mean, think about it before you make a day trip plan to Jeju in the winter, okay? Number 3, where to go? Seoul is a big city, but Jeju is also big. Do you know how big Jeju Island is? It's 3 times the size of Seoul. Whoa, it's such a big island. And Guardian Engine, you are saying I should go there on a day tour? So you shouldn't think about doing everything in Jeju. Planning to do lots of things just in one day can ruin your travel. So whenever I go to Jeju on a day trip, I focus on only one area. The airport is in the north, and in the south, that's where a lot of luxurious resorts are. So I prefer going to the east or west for my day trip. I mean, of course, you can go to the south because there are things to do, of course. And if you find something interesting or some activity that appeals to you, of course, you can go to south. There are buses going to the south, so you can travel easily. But most people go to the east or the west because that's where a lot of beautiful beaches are, and we love to see the sea and enjoy a very leisurely time there. For instance, if you go to the east, why don't you go to Hamdok Beach? This is my favorite. Hamdok Beach has a very beautiful sea color, and they have cafes overlooking the sea, and then also you can climb Seoul, a small peak. Well, it's not a big peak, it's a like kind of volcanic cone, and then it is called Seoul. Yes, you can go up there, and then from there you can see the whole view of the sea and beautiful beach, and you know, it's so beautiful. And in the spring you have flowers in the peak too, so you have flowers and the beautiful sky and the beautiful sea all together. Yes, it's very picturesque and the scenery is wonderful. So I love Hamdok Beach in the east, and that it's not that far away from the airport. Yes, you can go there by bus in about 40 to 45 minutes, so it's okay, right? And then if you have enough time, you can go to Pyeongdaeri or Sehwari. Those are two my favorite villages in the east. Very cute and small villages with traditional Jeju houses made with Jeju stones. Yes, traditional Jeju stones. Of course, they have restaurants and good cafes, so you can enjoy your time there. Otherwise, you can go to Halla Mountain. Halla Mountain is the highest mountain in South Korea. My friends go to Hallasan, Halla Mountain for a day trip to climb. Yes, you can do that. You can go hiking there. It's a very popular activity. And in that case, just focus on Hallasan, Halla Mountain, right? Or Seongsan Ilchul Peak, which is a gigantic volcanic tuff cone. It's a hard word. Yes, volcanic tuff cone, and you can go there and see the wonderful nature. Anyway, you don't go to all of these in one day, right? Just pick something that interests you. You can do your own research. And then, for instance, if you want to go to the west, many people go to Ewol. Ewol is a very popular beach area where you can find a very famous cafe street. It's a very commercial district, so I prefer actually Gyeopje Beach in the west. So it's up to you. If you prefer Ewol ambience, you can go there. Otherwise, if you want some peaceful ambience, you can go to Gyeopje Beach. Anyway, I'm just giving you a very few examples of Jeju tourist attractions. You can do your research and then you can pick the place you want to go, and I think your day trip would be wonderful. Okay, number 4, last but not least, is how to get around. Many people say to rent a car in Jeju is essential. But no, I mean, if you stay there for a few days, of course, getting a car would be easier to travel, but you are going there on a day trip. You do not have to rent a car. Jeju has an excellent bus system, especially express buses. And I do love taking express buses from the airport to major points of interest. They offer lots of express buses and it's so fast. It's an express bus. It doesn't stop at many stops. It just makes a few stops. So it's very fast, you know? It's like taking the taxi or driving, the same thing. I mean, the travel time is almost similar. So why don't you just take express buses while you are in Jeju? That would be so convenient. For instance, if you want to go to the east, I mentioned before, like Hamdok Beach or Sewari or whatever, you take express bus number 101. And to go to the west, 102. Yes, it's so easy. And when you go back to the airport, it's the same thing, same express bus. But if you're going to a place where the express buses do not go to, maybe you can combine express bus and plus local regional bus. It's not that difficult to get around Jeju, and if something happens and you feel like you're going to miss your flight, you can take taxi too. Do you know the most widely used taxi application in Korea? It's Kakao Taxi, and if you use Kakao Taxi in Jeju, yes, you can get taxis easily. And if you need to know exact public transportation timings, refer to Naver Map or Kakao Map. Yes, it's very precise and the buses come on time. So when you use the buses, like the express buses or the regional buses, Naver Map or Kakao Map would come in handy. One more good tip. When you go to the airport, do not hurry. There is nothing else for you to do in the airport. You are not going to check in your luggage. You do not have luggage. It's a day tour. It doesn't take a lot of time before you go to your gate. So I think half an hour, or if you're kind of anxious, 35 minutes would be perfect. It would be enough. So you enjoy your day in Jeju fully, and you do not have to go to the airport that early, right? Okay? So I have talked about 4 tips for you to know to make your Jeju day trip possible and worthwhile. How was it? If you want to go there, you can do it just in one day. I hope you have liked my information, and if you have found my information useful, you know what I'm going to say. Please subscribe to my channel and click the like button and also the bell button as well. So hope to see you next time, and until then, be good and be healthy. Bye bye.